I spent like 1,800 cedis for the land
London.
preparation, the planting, the um, laborers and everything going to farming. Also have to prepare. Prepare for risk.
Oh,
Last year, because of the economic crisis,
mm,
it became difficult for us to do that rotation because by then, when you weed an acre, it was like 100 cities.
okay.
But this year, it's 200 cities.
Wow. Hi, welcome to Hamburg Farms TV, and I'm Amma Grace. Today we are here to get an interview on how people are actually into agriculture. You know the problems we have in the country. It is advised that people who have interest in agri should join hands with people who are already doing it or have their own plans with agri. So we are here to talk about how a young woman is going all about with the farming. So we have an interesting conversation coming up. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and this is Hamburg Farms TV. As I said earlier, we are here to have a great interview with Debbie. So, Debbie, you are welcome to Hamburg TV.
Thank you.
Please, what do you do? How did it start? The whole thing start for you. Please walk us through it.
Okay, so with what I do, I don't do one thing. I'm a hustler, and I also see myself as a business person. I'm into the public service
Okay.
and also a farmer, YouTuber, blogger, and some other few
Oh
things.
wow.
So I'm not into one
One
occupation
thing.
right now.
Okay.
Okay, so with I think the main concern is about
Uh,
farming, right?
farming. Yeah.
Yes. So before I talk about how I started, I want to
Okay.
give you a big background of how the whole thing
Think.
started.
Okay.
Yeah, so growing up, I
Mm.
met my dad as a farmer. He was
Okay.
into a big time farming. He was into maize, he was into pineapple, poultry farm, yam, pepper, maize, cassava, and
Oh
so
wow,
many
there
other
was
things.
food at home.
Yes, so in fact, I didn't enjoy it so much by then, but after I grew up to some point, I really appreciated what the experience I
Okay.
had from him
Mm.
because that really gave me the training I have now. But what I really enjoyed most was the cassava farm because after farming,
Mm.
they uproot everything for gari, we
Mm.
know we have to transform into gari or corn, cassava dough.
Cassava dough, yeah.
The rest is for the children.
Oh,
We will go and then uproot the rest for our own,
yeah.
business.
Mm.
So we make money out of that. And my
Okay.
dad will not disturb you to bring that money to him.
Okay.
It's for us. So it made me appreciate farming. Then the poultry too is something I love so much.
Mm.
And maybe one of these days I'll look at it. So that's where I had a passion from.
Mm.
But later my dad got himself into real estate, so he stopped the
The farming.
farming. Yeah. Even now he wants to go back into farming.
Okay.
So when I graduated from school, that's 2012. I I was not really working. I got myself into private school teaching there, but the the pay was really
Wasn't
small.
good.
So I was also looking at going to side businesses and the rest. I got myself into network marketing. Later, I made some coins. Then I started selling sobolo to school children. This sobolo you have to tie like 20 pesos.
Yes.
Before I make 15 cedis or 10 cedis, I have to go through a lot of hassle. And I made some profit, like 300 cedis, and I was a bit discouraged because I had some infection on my nails, so I had
Oh,
to
okay.
stop. Then just around that time, around 2018, I was introduced to cashew farming. That's when one of our church members told me about the opportunity in cashew farming. So I decided to do research about it to find
Okay.
out the how profitable that business could be.
Okay.
So by then the land was 100 cedis per acre.
Oh,
So the profit I made from the Sobolo business,
yeah.
I
You use
acquired
it to.
3 acres. And
Mm.
by then my husband was the only one taking care of the home, so I couldn't disturb him so much with this kind of um, businesses,
Business,
because
yeah.
the money has to come to him from him again. So
Mm.
I have to try my best also. So I did some hala. I got some 200 Ghana cedis again, and I acquired extra two
Two
acres,
acres, okay.
making 5 acres.
Yeah.
But when you have to now weed and all those things, the land preparation, you have to also prepare for that. So I by then I was also applying to the government sector. So later when I had the employment in 2019, in 2019 my salary started coming. I took some and then invest into the
The
farm. So
business,
that's
okay.
what I used to prepare the land and started farming there. And before then, I also had opportunity to buy extra acres again. So, I had 10 acres that I had
Okay.
to work on.
Wow.
And looking at how much it cost me by then, it was really small as compared to
To
now.
now, yeah.
I spent like, I spent like 1,800 cedis for the land
London.
preparation, the planting, the um, laborers and everything,
Wow.
about 1,800. But right
Wow.
now, if you want to do it, you have to spend more than that.
Yeah, but how is it going for you
Yes,
right
so
now that you are in the business? How is it
mhm.
going?
So right now I'm 4 years now, almost 4 years. Yeah, 4 years
Mm.
now, and I can't say it's going well or it's going bad,
Bad.
because it was something new to me. So I'm still
Mm.
learning the process. And one thing I realized about farming is that whenever you go into farming, you also have to prepare. I mean, prepare for risk.
Okay.
And it was something I was constantly doing every
Mm.
year. Because of the dry season, you have to
Mm.
protect the farm from
Okay.
bushfires,
Mm.
especially. That usually occurs in the dry season.
Season. Mm.
I did it for those past years, but
Mm.
last year I can't say it was my fault, but because of the economic crisis we're all going through,
Mm-hmm.
most of your income goes into the
Yeah.
uh, transportation, the rates. Because
Mm.
where I work, sometimes I spend like 50 cedis to every
To
day.
get to the place.
Yes, in and out, 50 cities.
Wow.
So if you are subtracting from your salary, how much are you going to get?
Mm.
And I was supporting the farm mostly with um, my salary.
Okay.
So, somewhere 2020, my husband somebody also educated him on the cashew. So it was
Mm.
like, oh, Debbie, I've heard the opportunity in cashew farm. I said, but that's what I was telling you. So
Eh.
he decided that he will support me to acquire extra acres. So
Oh,
we
okay.
acquired additional 15, and we had 25 acres
Oh
that
no.
we are working on.
Okay.
So last year, because of the economic crisis,
Mm.
it became difficult for us to do that rotation, because by then, when you weed an acre, it was like 100 cities.
Okay.
But this year, it's 200 cities.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, let me put something together. Let us put something together so that we go and do the fire belt
Mm.
to protect the farm.
Farm. Mm.
But we couldn't do it on time. The day we gathered ourselves, we asked the farm manager to get the laborers to go and do the fire belt. That very day you got to the farm got burnt.
Wow.
Yes.
So those are some of the challenges
Yes.
you
So,
get as a farmer.
yes.
Mm.
And I have witnessed other people's farm burn all the time. Just even closer to me, you could see people
Mm.
farm burn. But I didn't, it's like this time,
It
because,
didn't get to you like it
yes,
has
so
happened to you.
I didn't, I thought maybe it could be something else. I didn't really believe that because of the fire belt.
Mm.
But when it happened to me, that's when I got to understand. So I think something
Mm.
that I have learned, and in the near future, I'm not going to do that. So
Yeah.
this year we are waiting for the rain, because there are trees now.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, according to those who are already into the business, they
Mm.
said when it start raining, they shoot up again. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, for now this year we have had 2 rains there.
Mm.
So we are waiting. I'm yet
For
to go
more
there.
rain.
Yes, I'm yet to go there to see how
Okay.
it
But
goes.
when you were talking earlier, you mentioned that people told you about how cashew is and the benefits.
Yeah.
But for someone who also loves to, enter cashew
Mm-hmm.
business, how is it like? Am I going to, what is the cashew used for? Some people don't have any idea about cashew. you know, growing up, we used to, you know, take it just like that. And there are some stories behind it that when you take cashew, you're not supposed to eat
Yeah.
sugary things. But for what is used for and all that, people have no idea. So can you walk us through it?
Okay, so what I know most is the cashew nut, and then I also know they use it for cashew paste,
Okay.
but I don't know so much. Like for the fruit, in some countries they use it for juice,
Okay.
but here in Ghana they don't
There's
use it for
nothing
anything.
like
Yeah,
that.
we don't have any company to that.
So do you ship it? Yeah,
Ye-
you're doing export.
So for cashew, when you start with the seed, it will take about 5 years, 5 years and above before you can start. It can start fruiting.
Oh wow.
When you go for the seedling, it will take like 3 to 4 years, then it will start fruiting. I went for the seed.
Okay.
So for the seed, I'm in my fourth year. And so it was supposed to start fruiting by the end of this year. Then
Okay.
next year I can start harvesting. But before I got myself into it, according to those people who are into it, every acre takes 40 trees.
Oh okay.
And from 5 years and above, a tree is supposed to give you one bag.
Okay.
And the one with the one bag, as at that time, it was around 800 cities, 500 cities. 800 cities is from the individuals who buy it from the farmers,
Okay.
but the 500 was from the government. So if you want to sell it to the government direct, that means you're going to sell a bag like that. Currently, a bag is about 1,200 cities.
Wow.
And so if you're multiplying a bag, that's 1,200 times the 40 trees you have on an acre. That's a lot.
A lot.
And let's say you have about 10 acres. Don't even go to the 25, just 10 acres. You multiply that. So you do let's do the calculation. Multiply the
Our viewers will do the
yeah,
calculation.
no, so multiply, they have to be entire.
And okay, sure.
The profit in cashew farming is great. And it's a risk.
So
It's
let's do
an
the
investment.
calculation.
Yes. So currently it's 1,200 cities
Okay.
per bag. Multiply that by 40 trees on an acre.
Wow, that's 48,000.
48,000. Multiply that by 10.
Wow.
Bebre kwa.
Yes.
So
You are getting 480. You
yes.
know,
So
you are getting a lot of money
yes,
if
so
it should work for you, right?
so there's a big investment.
Investment.
And the risk too is high. So if you want to go into farming, you should be prepared for the risk, and you should also be prepared for the profit you're also going to gain. Because when you start earning, I mean, you forget about all the risk, right?
Yeah.
So if you are investing into farming, you should as I said, you should prepare for the risk. It should be something that you can contain. When it happens, you shouldn't cry over it like for years.
But how did you take that? You know, your farm getting burnt. How did you take it?
I was prepared for the risk.
Oh wow.
Even when I called the farm manager, I told him that go and check. Please gather the people and go and do the fire belt. So that morning when he called me, I know he was coming to give me a bad news.
Wow.
Yes.
You were waiting for it.
Yes, because that time
because of the dry season.
That very day, a week before that day, I went to somewhere, Akosombo.
Okay.
On the way going, I saw people farm beans, and the way I saw it, I told my husband, "Hey, this thing, are you sure our farm is safe?" So it's like I was already preparing myself for that. So when he called me, the way he called me, I said Mabo, and I said Ashe. So it's like I was already prepared for that.
For
and
the
so
news.
It didn't really push me, but he was hurt because he was also having a farm there. I have to just encourage the person. So I can't also complain to him. You understand? So it should be something that you are willing to, you can be able to contain, because this is not the first struggle I've gone through.
Okay.
Yes, so this one was like.
Okay. You told me earlier that you were good. Yeah, there are some, you know, things that you are doing aside. Can you tell us?
Okay, so in 2020 when everybody was on the lockdown, I was busy farming in my house. I was doing tomatoes farming using the shade nets like this, and I had a contract with an organization. They said they would provide me with the manure, the soil prepared, and the seedling. So when they provide you pay 2,500.
Okay.
When they provide you with the seedling, they will give you all the guidelines on how to grow the domain, to take care of it so that you don't lose. And the promise they made was, if you invest the 2,500, at the end of the harvest, they are at the end of the whole thing, they are going to buy your produce, and then you're also going to make a profit about 7,500, which was juicy.
Okay.
So in all, you're going to make 10,000.
Mm.
But when we brought the installation of the shield net and everything, we spent about, in all, we spent about 5,000,
Okay.
which was okay because you could use it again. So, I mean, they were coming over to check. We started, it was going well, and it got to a time that the plants were dying out. So we complained to them, and they were like, they will give us, they need more nutrients, so they
Yeah.
have to provide us with some manures. The last manure they brought was bomb.
Oh,
Within a week, everything got burnt. So we didn't
one
make,
of the risks or challenges again.
yeah, so everything got burnt.
Mm.
And they couldn't give us, I mean, they couldn't even compensate us. So, and that's, with that farm, I made about 200 Ghana cedis.
My goodness.
That was, the investment was around 5,000. You made 200,
200
200
cities.
cedis.
You have lost.
And
cry.
even that, when they come and they weigh the thing from you, I think a kilo was five cedis.
Okay.
And so with the 5 cedis, I was looking at the quantity, and then the one on the market was like, this one is more than the market. So market farm selling this thing, like, it will be like 15 cedis.
Yeah.
But since they are buying from you, you don't have to go through the hassle of looking for people to buy.
People to
By
buy
those
it from
time,
you.
I would have gotten people to buy, but it was an agreement.
Okay.
So in all, I made like 200 cedis, so I lost.
Okay.
And even that, when they did they weighed the thing and they took it to their place, they have to, we have an account with them, so they will deposit the money into that account, so that when we get it, get to, I mean, we are finished with the harvest, then you can go for your money.
Okay.
Even that 200 cedis price, not even in my so eventually they have to close that,
Yeah.
that, because I wasn't the only person who went through that incident.
Oh, okay.
All those people that they got themselves into that business, they all lost it, because they all shared, they gave us the same manual they gave to them, and so
And
they all made
I
a
can
loss.
imagine.
And they were going after them here and there. So I think when I called that supervisor who used to come to me, said, oh, they have shut down. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I didn't even go for that 200 cities. So that's another risky farming.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So how did you manage with family? Because listening to you, you are a family woman. And you are a woman too. This is something somebody will say, hey, you are taking risks, so it should be your husband doing this. So how did you manage the home as a wife, and having to be a farm manager, or an owner of a farm? Like, how did it all,
So
is it going? How is it all going?
So, with the farm, I decided to opt for the cash crop because it doesn't need so much care.
Okay.
So we have a farm manager, and the farm is not for me alone, for my husband and I, but
Okay.
I'm actually the one leading the whole.
Oh, okay.
So he is there. So whenever we need to do something, then he'll call me, and then we'll
okay.
do the budget, and I'll send the money to him. Once in a while, I go there to check
Okay.
to see. So it's like I'm an absentee
Uh-huh.
farmer, which is also not good.
Yeah.
But it depends on the relationship we have with the person.
Yeah. And
So,
the people around too.
yes. So we've been going there often to check, see the progress of the farm. So because of that, I'm working, and at the same time a family person, you can't be there every time. That's
Yeah.
why I opted for that one. So that's how I'm able to manage that with the home.
Oh, okay. What about your laborers, people who are working for you?
We don't have a permanent laborers.
Oh, okay.
It's only one person who is managing the farm.
Okay.
And so whenever we need to do weed, the most important thing we do is to weed, and then do some spraying
Okay.
within the year. And so when they come and work, we just pay them off and they go. So he will go and gather them. He has people that he work with. They also, to this, that's what they do. So they are not working for us alone.
Okay.
So when they finish, they go.
All right.
Yeah.
Please, any advice to anyone who is trying to, start farming like you? Because with the economy right now, we still need to eat, and
Yeah.
farming comes into mind, and people who are, trying to get into the business like you, what are some of the advices you would give to them?
Yeah, so we shared some of the negative side of farming or the risk, but I also made, uh, I think I also made you understand
Yeah.
the investment aspect or the
Mm,
profit aspect. So, in fact, if you are there and you are relying on your salary alone,
mm,
my dear, it will not take you far
yeah.
because I told you I spend 50
50
cities
cities, yeah.
transportation every day. So
Yeah.
multiply that by 5 in a week. That's 250 cities.
Yeah.
Multiply that by
By
4.
4.
That's 1,000 cities. If you take that from your salary, how much will you be left? You have
Mm,
children, they are schooling and everything.
mm,
So our advice, anybody who wants to go into farming or who is looking for something to do, you can consider farming. It takes something small to start with. Like I started with 1,800 cities, and I mean, even though I said the farm is bent, but it's not completely off. It will shoot up again. I'll still make
make
it
your
go.
money.
Yeah. So, and then if you also want to go into farming, it should be something. If you are investing your money to it, invest something that you are willing to risk or to let it go in case it happens. You won't be able to. I mean, you won't kill yourself because of that. And then um apart from the money and the startup capital, every year you have to take care of the
Be
farm, or you have to weed, you have to spray.
yeah.
So those ones I didn't add it,
Mm,
but that's how I started. So
mm,
it's lucrative. It's something that can be able to take care of you for a long time. If you get yourself involved, you are not going to regret because it, it's especially with the cash crops.
yeah.
It's for years. It's like 4 years, 5 years investment.
Mm,
So with that, I mean, when you are patient enough, after the 5 years,
you will get
you
something.
will really enjoy.
Enjoy.
You don't need to depend on anybody again for
Yeah.
money.
Thank
Yes,
you
yeah.
very much. Thank you for, giving us this opportunity to talk to you. We
Okay.
pray that one day we'll start, benefiting, and we will come for the money some, or
You.
we'll join the business.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much.
So I'll
We'll be
invite
your
any.
partners.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
So,
we and cashew is not the only crop that is beneficial. You can also
mm,
go into coconut. That is one of the gold mine now in Ghana.
wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
coconut farming.
Mm,
For that, with a hybrid, it takes about 2.5 years, and you
wow.
can start
Your
harvesting, and you make a lot from that.
wow. All
Yes.
right.
So
Thank you very much.
yes.
Next time we'll come to you. Thank you
Mm,
very much for giving us this
okay.
opportunity.
Thanks for coming too. And
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today. This has been Hamburg Farms TV. You heard it all from Debbie, how she started and how it is going for her. We pray that we will, get all the success stories, the videos and everything, and get it to you so that you see how she's doing with it. But until next time, we'll get to interview some more people. So just stay tuned to our our channel, and you get more interesting interviews coming in. Until next time, I'm Grace.